So, America. How are you doing, sausage? All right, are we? We're all doing fine over here and literally everywhere else that will be affected by what you do in the morning. So look, I may be sitting here feeling fine because everything's fine, playing an old tune called The Twighlight of History for no apparent reason whatsoever. But I know that you are going to the polls, and some of you are apparently still undecided. Not sure whether I believe that, but it keeps the whole drama llama going, does it not? And I just wanted to say, you know, here's to all the days that come after tomorrow. Because, well, take it from an increasingly inexplicably old man, there will be other days. I have here on top of the piano, by total coincidence, a couple of leaves brought back from Sussex by my lovely wife. It's an oak leaf from a tree in Warnham, and it's a tree that my mother-in-law remembers fondly me going and hugging, because it's nearly 90 years old. It was planted to commemorate some royalty visiting the town in 1910. 35 years later, and now it's nearly a 90-year-old oak tree, and you can see the photos of it as a sapling, and now it's this beautiful thing that you want to sit under and take great solace in imagining you can hear breathe. You still breathing? I am, definitely, and this isn't fake, very cheap brandy found in the back of the fridge. It's not a prop. So, look, there are fireworks, because it's a weird confluence of things out there tonight here in the UK, and for you tomorrow across the US, all the time zones. You know, it's been Halloween, this weird dressing up monster thing. Can you see where I'm taking the imagery inevitably here? Your elections, man. Jeepers. You know, my experience over here with Brexit is that Project Fear, as they call the Liberals, was really always projection fear. So I'd ask you to go to the polls and not think about the Dems or the Republicans or the MAGAs. There is a future, and we've all got to show up in it. And we've got to show up an awful lot more confident than we are being divided to be. I want to say to my fellow men, look, I don't pretend or want to be a kind of some archetype of a bloke. I'm me. And I really want you to just be you. I really do. Because that way, you know, you can do some work and work with what you truly got and start to be groovy, and you'll probably pick up dates a lot easier because you'll stop trying to project all sorts of things that just aren't you. Stop it with all the macho shit. It's you know, probably not you. It's definitely not all of you. And even though you're definitely extremely manly, I'm not entirely sure what that means. Never haven't cared very much. So if this is an election about finding some psychopath gangster to follow because he seems manly, this is a bloke who can't get in a cab because he's 78. No shame for being old, but, you know, he's not going to lead you into battle, is he? Because he doesn't want to. Is he any good as a businessman? No, he got a lucky break on the telly, and this is the guy you want to usher in the new America because you want to break everything. Look, I know you're hurting, man, but bloody hell. Where is the strength in trying to smash everything for everybody else? I'm not taking the piss out of you, brother. I'm frustrated because I'm a bloke, and I'm frustrated with myself in many ways too. But there are some contrasts going on in this election that it's just showing up that I think we're always there, and they're properly deep bad juju. And you, as a good American, might well just be thinking about, well, I could be better off, or you might just define yourself as anti-dem, and I don't understand why you'd imagine half the country is all exactly the same and out for you. They don't care, man, that's the point. That's more the point. People don't know you, they don't know who you are, they don't know your poetry and your big bloody bleeding heart, mate, because I know you care. You're a person. You've got imagination to think about stuff and follow ideas, and that's how we get honey trapped. It is. I could. The American system is not what you want it to be, and if you think that's true for the inside, you should be on the outside. I'm only just waking up to it because, hey, I'm from the land of your forefathers that gave you the whole gift of toxic empire. Yeah, it's bad for the soul, it's bad for the land, it's bad for our communities, it's bad for everything, and it's bad for our futures, man. And this is the truth coming out. When Kamala, who has a very reassuring smile, she seems friendly and human, which is more than most politicians can muster anywhere. God, does that jar. With bankrolling 40,000 dead Palestinians. The hoops people have to jump through to say, no, this isn't a genocide. It's a genocide to protect a particular world order, exceptionalising some people and demonising others. And, you know, cultish tendencies around the world have us put ourselves over others and say, we'll destroy them in order to define ourselves. Does that sound healthy? He says, taking another swig of very, very, I can't emphasise enough how cheap this brandy is. But do you want to be an oak tree that's still standing in 90 years, under whose shade people take rest? Staring up at the canopy of it, remembering that nature moves at very different paces to us and things will go on long beyond our little worries. Don't you want to be that kind of man? That kind of person? That kind of leader? So although I'm dressed for the end of the world, playing sad, bloody songs, actually the night before you guys go to the polls, I'm feeling kind of normal now. And then my body's trying to tell me I've got stress, even though I've been trying not to think about it. I'll have to get back to my lathe tomorrow and make the funny little things I've got to try and make to get work and try and make a difference and do what I think is right for me to do, small and silly as it all seems. And even though I am, I'll freely admit, a kind of selfish boy trying half-heartedly every now and again to do some good, even I think we've got to start thinking about our morality. What futures do we want to stand for? And, you know, I'm setting my own benchmark low because I haven't got much capacity. You're probably built like a horse, and if you put your mind to it, could build something enormous that lasts forever, for generations. I'm just dicking about on the piano. But if we are to make sense of smiling candidates who are signing off on tens and tens and tens of thousands of people being murdered, humiliated, maimed, displaced, so that condos can go up on the west coast of Israel one day. And if we are hoping to make sense of the wildfires and the floods and the weird weather from a planet that's warmer exactly because fossil fuels getting all the money, all the subsidies, all the culture, because in engaging with these things and daring to hold the dualities a bit, but face that pain in you, in me. Only God is perfect, as Muslim brothers would say. We, dicking about in the middle, have got to do what we can to think of the security of our loved ones. And that means thinking of the security of those we differ from. It really does. Sorry, mate, but that's what you've got to do if you want a future that stands up, that doesn't blow over in the bloody wind like everything is. I was at Dorset COP at the weekend, which is a nod to the Conference of Parties environmental international get-togethers. This was in my county, my home county, Dorset, and there was lots of good folk there. But when you look at the science that you aren't talking about at all, I mean at all, in your elections, the reality of the world we're going to have to deal with is increasingly unstable, and that's putting it without drama. We have to start getting behind some vision that stands up for our right to be ourselves. You've got to stop obsessing over trans people's rights to be themselves. You've got to stop obsessing over your own masculinity, man, and be yourself. How about that? Please be yourself. No one else can do that. No one else can do it. But I know there will be mornings on the other side of this, and I just want to say that to you. It's all right to know it's not perfect. It's all right to vote for something that is the lesser of two evils, even though it makes you want to puke, because you can see what's going on in the machine more than ever. It's a waking up. We have to wake up to our interdependence with each other and all of life on earth. And so today I've been thinking about artists who really inspired me, including Quincy Jones, who died yesterday, today, 91. Kind of same age as that big oak tree in Warnham. I don't suppose he ever went to Warnham in Sussex. He was a phenomenal artist and a rounded human being, the same as the rest of us, with flaws I'm sure, but his musical output, his creative output, amazing. And he always said this, Jones always said this, I think, at least I hope he did, because I've taken his inspiration, so I'm hoping this is true. It's another thing to fact check, isn't it? But I think Quincy Jones once said this, the studio is my instrument. And what he did was bring the best out of everyone he brought together. All the talents in the studios he presided over to make the most incredible music no one could sit still to. Multi-talented instrumentalist, arranger, but above all he knew how to capture moments by creating them well. I hope that tomorrow is a moment that we look back on as a turning point towards the light. And if that feels like your whole identity's been challenged, go and have a look at what your identity means for everyone around you, not just you. I've been looking at mine a lot, and yeah, I ain't going to be no saviour. I think tonight I'm just going to play sad tales, but there will be a day after tomorrow, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in it, mate. It's serious, but that's when the grown-ups have work to do. And the most grown-up of us know that every now and again, you do just need a sad song. This up, but I've only been playing it for 30 bloody years. Oh, God! Hey, there's always tomorrow to practice, right?